A WWE departure has been confirmed, and an AEW star looks to be testing free agency. We're going to be talking about these two big stories right here, right now, on The Ango Show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget, we got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers, so if you're not clicked subscribe, you should probably click subscribe today. I want to kick things off with a WWE departure. Better yet, I think we should take a look at the memo that was sent out by Nick Khan to the WWE. Very interesting stuff here. WWE has begun the process of reorganizing its talent relations group. Moving forward, Chris Gentle, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm going to be honest with y'all, in addition to his role in comms, will help us in leading this new group. Matt Altman, in addition to his role in marketing, will be working closely with Chris to help in this endeavor. Talent development and recruiting will now report into Shawn Michaels. All of talent, which includes talent relations, development, and recruiting, will continue to ultimately report into Paul Levesque. As of today, Dan Ventrell will be moving on from WWE. We thank Dan for his tremendous contributions. Now, for those who don't know who he is, he was brought in by the WWE, I want to say in 2022. Yeah, probably 2022. At the time, he reported to Stephanie McMahon and, being part of talent relations and stuff like that. It's obviously a very big role. I think the big thing that a lot of people need to understand is that WWE is changing. They're evolving. They're constantly going through change. Endeavor is changing. Endeavor is constantly evolving. And when I look at a departure like this, the big takeaway that I have is really Shawn Michaels being elevated here. Shawn Michaels taking the talent development and recruiting, and working with those people. That's great. Right now, we know that William Regal is a big scout for WWE, and he's a big part of recruiting. So it seems like there's like some synergies there, right? William Regal and everybody will report to Shawn Michaels, and then at the end of the day, Shawn Michaels would have to report to Triple H. And I think that could be a very interesting tactic. But I think the big thing about WWE recruiting and WWE personnel is that a lot of people don't necessarily have experience in professional wrestling prior to coming to WWE, right? When you look at a departure like this, Dan Ventrell, he is somebody, I think he came from like the Oakland Raiders. Well, no, it would technically be the Las Vegas Raiders because they changed their team name. But he came from the NFL, has that background, and he got fired. I mean, essentially, that's what it is. No matter how WWE tries to make this sound or how nice it, at the end of the day, they made the decision to remove him. They made the decision to fire him. And I think ultimately, when I see this, I think WWE, whether WWE made the right decision or the wrong decision, that's not up to me to decide, because I don't know who Dan Ventrell is. But what I will say is, I like how WWE operates NXT, and I think they have something that works there. And by elevating Shawn Michaels with a little bit more importance, I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. So we'll see how that goes. What I do want to talk about is WWE potentially bringing in Hook. Not the first time we've talked about this on the channel, but now there's a very interesting report that we got to talk about. According to Michael Shalik at SEScoops.com, the second generation star is said to be interested in testing the free agency waters. SE Scoops quoted someone familiar with WWE's recruitment strategy as saying, "I can see WWE clearly being interested in him." Now keep in mind, Hook is the son of Taz. And last year there was a report that came out that essentially suggested Taz wanted Hook to go to WWE NXT. Now, whether that's true or not, I have no idea. I cannot speak for Taz. And again, with reports, everything I say take with a grain of salt. It doesn't matter who it came from, who's the source of it. When it comes to reports, unless you are seeing footage of somebody directly saying it themselves, you take those reports with a very small, tiny grain of sand or salt or whatever, right? Take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, Hook testing free agency makes a lot of sense. The fact that Hook is interested in taking a swim in free agent waters, I think it's fine. I think it's a good thing. Ultimately, I don't see Hook staying in AEW. I don't. If I am being super honest with you guys, I think WWE and Hook will be a very good partnership together. Hook is an incredibly great wrestler, but I actually think his character work is outstanding. And I think for what Hook could potentially do outside of professional wrestling, you got to remember this kid is young, but there's a lot of things he could do outside of professional wrestling. WWE will be the catalyst for that. So yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I think Hook goes to WWE. I do. It would be very shocking to see Hook leave AEW. Actually, would it be? I think that's an interesting question. Would it be shocking if he left AEW? Let's face it. Let's call it exactly what it is. You got stuff about, obviously Punk got fired from AEW, but he joined WWE. Cody Rhodes left AEW, went to WWE. Jade Cargill left AEW and went to WWE, signed a contract with the WWE, now is a very big part of the WWE. I think Ricky Starks could be going. I think Hook could go. I think there's just going to be a plethora of people who leave AEW for WWE. And the reality is it's not necessarily the best decision for everyone, but I think there's a lot of people who don't fit with the AEW vision. And quite frankly, this stuff with Hook and Jericho is not interesting to me. It's not intriguing to me. I don't think it benefits Hook in the slightest. Maybe it does, but I don't think it will. I don't think so. So yeah, I think Hook testing free agency makes a lot of sense. I do think it makes a lot of sense. I think Hook going to WWE makes a lot of sense long term as well. The real question is when Hook leaves AEW, if he does, what does Taz do? I like Taz in AEW. He's a great commentator for AEW. I would love to see if maybe he finds his way back into the WWE. I don't know. But I could see him possibly wanting to be where his son is. Something to definitely think about. But it's not good for AEW to lose their emerging stars to WWE. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the people who have left WWE to go to AEW, they are established veterans towards the end of their career. Christian Cage, obviously Jericho, right? Adam Copeland. They're all towards the end of their career. And AEW losing people like Ricky Starks, Hook, Jade Cargill, Wardlow, we're looking at them as future stars. So just keep that under consideration.